Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to the Mid-Level Media channel, your hub for everything physical media and entertainment. I am Ken, and today, guys, I am here to review and talk about the latest Synapse release, right? Am I correct in that? People always joke on the way I pronounce Synapse, so I think that's the correct pronunciation, right? But again, I'll be corrected if I'm wrong in the comment section below. But yeah, welcome to my review of The Living Dead at Manchester Morgue, this latest Synapse Blu-ray release. And I'm so excited to have it in my possession. I got it sent to me from MVD Entertainment to review and talk about with you guys. And I'm really excited to get into this one. I watched it last night. I heard some good things about it. And we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about the movie. We're going to talk about the transfer. We're going to talk about the special features and all that good stuff, packaging. And I'm just going to paint an overall picture of whether or not this is worth you guys picking up. So yeah, The Living Dead at Manchester Morgue. Look at that cover right there. Looks pretty cool. But before we get into it, I have to ask, if you are not yet a subscriber to the Mid-Level Media channel, what are you waiting for? Hit the subscribe button. I mean, come on, what are you waiting for? Subscribe to the channel. I do tons of Blu-ray and 4K reviews like this. I do physical media reports and news updates every single Monday. I do Blu-ray hunting videos, collection hauls, updates, just tons of stuff, unboxing videos. If you like physical media, if you like all these movies and stuff, owning the movies that you love, you like this kind of stuff, Blu-rays, 4Ks, this whole physical media game that we're all in, then definitely hit the subscribe button. Also, be sure to comment down below. What's your thoughts on this movie? This is a 1974 film. Do you remember watching it when you were a kid? Did you just now see it? Are you going to purchase this based on my recommendation? Let me know in the comment section below. Also, like this video, guys. Please like this video. Hit that like button. Come on, I need likes. I need the likes. I need you to like me for reviewing this zombie movie. So hit the like button. Damn it. And then turn on those bell notifications for all future videos. So look, let's get into the movie. I'm in a mood tonight. I don't know what it is. I'm in a mood tonight. Maybe it's a zombie film that I watched. Just put me in a strange mood. But yeah, The Living Dead at Manchester Morgue, also known as Let Sleeping Corpses Lie. So yeah, it has two different names to it, but Synapse chose to put The Living Dead at Manchester Morgue. I think it has a alternate cover on the steelbook, because this did have a steelbook that came out, I think, in 2020, and it's the exact same disc, exact same transfer with all the same special features. The only problem is that steelbook right now is going for 60 bucks and this is 30. So this is definitely the more affordable option if you do want to own this in your collection, but we'll get to that here in a second. But yeah, Let Sleeping Corpses Lie, The Living Dead at Manchester Morgue, whatever you want to call it. They chose to call it this, so that's what we're going to call it here on this video. This is a 1974 movie, a Spanish-Italian movie, and it was written and directed by Jorge Grau, who I don't really know too much about his filmography, but I'm going to tell you what. I'm going to tell you what right now. I'm not the biggest zombie guy. I'm not the biggest zombie expert by any means. I've always found most zombie films to just be kind of plain, kind of bland, and kind of boring. Now, there are exceptions, and I'm definitely diving deeper. There's a lot of Romero stuff that I still need to watch. You know, I was a fan of The Walking Dead. I love Zack Snyder's Dawn of the Dead. I think it's better than the original. I do like the original, but I think it's better than the original. Night of the Living Dead, I respect it for its iconic you know, status and as a zombie, the originator of the zombie genre, but it's a boring movie to me. It's a boring movie. It's just something about zombies. I just don't find them scary. I just don't find them scary at all. So going into this movie, it was already an uphill battle to impress me, but I'm going to tell you what. This is a hell of a good movie. This is a really great movie. And I did not expect that going into this film at all. I was just like, this is going to be a schlocky 70s B-level horror film. In a lot of ways it is. It definitely plays into a lot of the tropes. But you have to think, this was made 6 years after Night of the Living Dead. And it's definitely a more exciting, more impactful zombie film than I would say Night of the Living Dead is. Night of the Living Dead, again, is super cheesy. There's not a lot going on. All of the zombies in that movie look like they just got like, you know, dirt on their face and they're just regular people walking around. I get it. It was the 60s. It was the first zombie movie. I get it. You don't have to comment that down below. But this one, like the zombies, they did a good job with the makeup. They look like, you know, mostly human as well. There's even a sequence where this girl walks into another girl's room. I'm not going to, you know, give away anything away. And you think she's a real person. at first for like the 5 minutes until she holds her hands up. She starts moving around the room like a zombie. And that's when you realize, oh, she's a zombie. So there are, you know, sequences like that. But overall, I think the makeup's done really well. You know, you can definitely tell they're zombies. They're bleeding at a certain points and there's stuff in their faces. Their faces are different colors, kind of purple, kind of red, as they would be if someone had just died. So I like that attention to detail. So the makeup's really well done. The zombies in this and the zombie carnage and action is brutal. Maybe some of the most brutal zombie action I've ever seen. I love the movie Zombie. I just recommended it on a recent video, 10 movies from 1979 that I recommend that you watch or own on Blu-ray. I just talked about Lucio Fulci's Zombie. I love that movie. It might be my favorite zombie film. That's a brutal zombie film as well, but I still feel like this one, I'm not saying I like this one better than Zombie, because I don't, but I think in this one, like the actual zombie carnage and action is so brutal, so grotesque, and so gory. Like, it absolutely blows Zombie and like any other zombie movie or TV show or anything like away, in my opinion. Like, there is a scene, and this is the one that really got me, and I don't want to get too graphic, but there's a scene where a zombie just literally reaches down a girl's shirt and yanks her breast off. And again, I'm trying to use the technical term there, but he yanks her breast off of her body. And it's brutal. And she's screaming and they're biting. They're just tearing into people. Guts are flying everywhere. They're like grabbing at people's faces and just ripping them off, ripping eyeballs out, and just sitting there eating it. And just the way that they show them eating, I love this attention to detail that they have. Because a lot of zombie films wouldn't do this. You know, they would just attack and then they would cut to the next scene. In this movie, they're like reaching in, they're grabbing out body parts, and they stop and they show the zombies just eating, just like leisurely eating, just like having a picnic with people's blood and guts and just sitting there eating for a little bit. They just show it all. They just show it all. And I think it's so cool because it's like usually they wouldn't go to that lengths to show that level of grotesque imagery in a movie. And I just love this movie goes for it. So the zombie action is awesome. The problem is, and this is where we'll get to the problems with the movie, is a lot of that stuff doesn't come until the last half an hour. So the initial like hour of this movie is a little slow. I'm not going to say it's dull. There's some interesting stuff there. The basic plot of this film is there's some kind of agriculture machine that's basically resurrecting these zombies out of the ground. They're using this agriculture machine to like kill off bugs and stuff that could destroy crops. And in turn, it's like resurrecting the zombies out of the ground. So it's a silly plot already. And you got a girl and a guy. They come together through, you know, whatever circumstances. Like she hits his motorcycle and then all of a sudden they're driving around together and they're in the plot together. And they run into contact with some of the zombies and people get killed. And then the police get involved and they think that the couple that's driving around is killing the people. They think they're involved in some kind of Satanist cult. Which I don't know how the police drive around the whole time. Like they're following these people the whole time, but nobody sees a zombie but them. They're like the slickest zombies, stealth mode zombies ever. They're like sneaking into buildings. Nobody sees them but these people until it's time for somebody to get murdered. So yeah, it's a whatever plot. Like it goes into very familiar directions. Like you've seen this kind of stuff before. So it really doesn't get to that like really awesome stuff until the last half hour of the movie. So I'm not saying it's bad leading up to that. The characters are okay, but overall, you know, I just wasn't too engaged and interested in what was going on until the shit hit the fan and the zombies were just everywhere, you know, murdering and massacring everybody and ripping boobs off. There, I said it. But yeah, this is a good movie though. This is a really good movie. It's got a good score. The cast, like I said, you know, I wasn't too interested in the characters, but the performances are all really good for the most part. And yeah, like I said, the makeup's really good. The gore is just like, is top notch. Like it's just some of the best zombie action and gore that I've ever seen in a movie before. So trying to think of anything else I want to say. It ends in a way that honestly surprised me. I didn't really anticipate that it would end the way that it did. So I was happy there as well. So overall, guys, look, I'm going to give this movie pretty high marks. I'm going to give this a 4 out of 5. And I'd say if it didn't have this really awesome like zombie action stuff in it, gory action sequences, it would probably drop to like a 3 or a 3.5. But because it had all of that stuff and just really went there with some intense sequences and imagery that I haven't really seen in a zombie film before, at least I don't feel like I have. So I got to give it high marks for that. So a 4 out of 5 for the actual movie. This is definitely one of the best zombie films I've ever seen, up there with Zombie as well. But then take into account that I'm not a huge zombie fan in general. So getting into the transfer, this is another high mark for this, because this transfer, and again, I know it's not a new transfer. This is the same transfer that was in the 2020 Steelbook release that Synapse did. I think there's also a Blue Underground Blu-ray release, but I don't think that has the 4K restoration. So this is a Blu-ray, but this is a 4K restoration from the original 35mm camera negative. So this is a 4K restoration on a Blu-ray disc. I know a lot of people were kind of not complaining, but just kind of surprised that they didn't just go ahead and do a 4K of this one, because they already did a Blu-ray. That's kind of weird to me as well, because initially I thought this was the first time that they were putting this out with a 4K restoration. I didn't discover that it had the Steelbook until I did my research before I did the review. So that is kind of interesting. I guess they just didn't want to go full into the 4K format. But I will say this, guys. I will say this. This is an incredible 4K restoration. It felt 4K. Like I feel like I've seen 4Ks that didn't look as good as this Blu-ray. Like, it was that good. The colors are so rich and vivid. And like I said, tons of gory, grotesque sequences, brutal sequences with tons of blood. All of that stuff looked excellent. But the colors in this movie are just so vivid. There's a little bit of grain, but not too much. So the grain levels are really nice, really consistent. And I just thought that overall, this was just an awesome 4K scan on this Blu-ray. And again, almost 4K quality. So I think Synapse did an incredible job with this restoration. As far as the audio, they have a new 5.1 English stereo surround remix made exclusively for the Synapse Films release. So again, this was on the previous Blu-ray release. There's also a restoration of the true original English language theatrical mono mix. So again, this is a Spanish-Italian film. So when you watch this, I watched it dub, and to be honest, like, it wasn't too distracting at all. I thought it was an excellent voiceover. It didn't take me out of anything. I think that some of the characters and performances in this movie are English speaking, but yeah, the dubbing in this I thought was excellent. Like, it didn't take me out of it at all. Like, there's been some Argento films where I have to watch them with subtitles. I cannot do the dubbing because it's so distracting. Like, the dubbing performances are so distracting, but not the case here. I thought they did a great job with this English language theatrical mono mix. Going into the special features though, guys, there's a ton of special features on here, a ton of great special features. There's a 90-minute documentary with Jorge Grau, and it's called Catalonia's Cult Film King. The extensive feature-length documentary explores the life and films of director Jorge Grau. So this is 90 minutes. I did not listen to this entire thing, but I did watch 30 minutes of it. So very interesting interview with Jorge. And I don't know when they did this documentary, but he's no longer with us. He has passed away recently. So this is probably an older documentary that was maybe in the Blue Underground release. I'm not too sure. It's good quality, so I don't think it was like a past DVD release or anything. You also have the scene of the crime, Gianna Di Rasa, in discussion from Manchester. This is 16 minutes. So this is an interview with the makeup effects artist, and I thought that this was a really great interview with him, talking about the film, talking about how he developed all the effects work. And I thought it was really funny because he threw a lot of serious shade at George A. Romero in this interview, talking about how tame and non-scary his Night of the Living Dead movie and how he was trying to make this one scary. So that was a really good interview, special feature. You also have a Q&A at the Festival of Fantastic Films, and this is 43 minutes as well. Theatrical trailers, TV spots, radio spots. So just tons of special features on here. You got nearly 2 hours, I would say 2.5 hours of special features with this release. So getting into the packaging, I wish, look, I mean, I just like slipcovers. What can I say? But I wish they would have done a slipcover with this one. I'll show you all the back real quick in depth if you want to, you know, pause on that. But, you know, it just feels naked. I wish they would have done, they could have done a nice, cool slipcover with this one. Some variations as well, because they are charging $30 with this. So it would be nice for them to include a slipcover. And inside the case right here, you got some disc art, some nice green disc art on this release. You got a little booklet in here as well. I feel like I unboxed this on like a previous video, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, because I think I showed this one off. A lot of porn in this little, Synapse has a lot of porn. I discovered when I did a live stream buying some Synapse release. Am I saying it right now? Synapse. I'm saying I can never say it right. I don't know what's wrong with me, but I'm sure I'm going to get some comments about it. But anyway, guys, look, The Living Dead at Manchester Morgue. It is $30 right now. I will link it down below if you want to purchase it. based on my recommendation. Really great zombie flick. I really enjoyed it. And the transfer, like I said, is of 4K quality. I know it would probably look a little bit better if it was an actual 4K disc, but I'm telling you right now, I don't think you'd be able to tell much of a difference between this and a 4K disc. So thank you guys for watching this review of The Living Dead at Manchester Morgue. Please like this video. Comment down below your thoughts on this film if you're going to purchase it based on my recommendation. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Turn on those bell notifications and follow me on all my social media accounts. Those links are in the description, and we'll see you next time.